Hello. Love how the second I tried to start streaming had random tech difficulties. All of which fixed up after doing nothing. Can they? Oh, you probably hear this. Rubbing my hand on my desk. Because I had some stuff on it. I burned my hand. Also, sorry if you hear my fan. It decided to get warm the second I started streaming. So, not because of my computer overheating, but it's just the weather, you know. Summertime is a time for summer to kill me. But places have had worse, so I have to complain. Anyway, it's been like 7 years since I streamed, so I told myself no going out jogging today. Let's sit down and stream something. I didn't expect to be preoccupied with life the last few weeks. I say few weeks. I don't remember the last time I streamed. Was the last time maybe the last time I streamed was like last week, but I expected to have streamed at some point, like more paranormal side or whatever. But things didn't happen. I think I didn't stream last week, so my fault. But it's been rough to prioritize things like streaming. Just because I say it all the time, every time I come on here, saying the same exact things. I haven't been streaming in a while, haven't been in the mood to stream, haven't had the motivation, blah blah blah. I was just thinking that I didn't really have the I didn't have the drive to get on mic to talk, because I just don't talk much these days. And not because I'm like secluding myself from like socializing, but like just the act of opening my mouth and like hearing me, I'm just like, bro, gross. You know. So this is my attempt to warm up, because I haven't drawn all that much recently. This is a weird way to warm up. I guess you can call this a stimming process. But I told myself I should come on at some point, so that's why I'm streaming today. Not sure how long. Should be an okay amount. I'm in charge of dinner today, but the only thing that needs to be cooked is my rice, and that's not something I need to baby. So last stream was 14 days ago. Yeah, it's been, time has flown by. To be honest, it hasn't feel like it's been 14 days, but at the same time, I don't know what I've been doing. I actually honestly don't know. I know, like, I can think back to like last week. Maybe last week? Maybe last week? Maybe. Or like the weekend. But before that, I have no recollection of what happened in life. I remember nothing. It was a mixture of like being busy, and then also a mixture of like just not being in the mood or being preoccupied with other things. That's what happens when it's when streaming is a passing hobby. But I'm not gonna say I'm trying to change that. It's more like, you know, I'll make the effort when I can. It's hard also because I'm just like not focused on I'm not focused on really doing anything that warrants streaming. Like playing like I've been playing like a couple of games on my own time, but they're not games that I would play on stream. They're very much like a turn off your brain and just like pay attention to the game, or like they're really simplistic like puzzle games that I think one of them, what game was it? I beat it in literally 2 hours. What game was it? I'm a little bird. I think they're called budgie bird, but like the bird type is called a budgie. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But you play as a little bird, and your goal is to like catch a bunch of bugs to sell at your bug shop, and then at some point you make enough money to grow like an empire of selling bugs, and then the end goal is that the bugs will then sell you, and it's like kind of scary. But I think that might have been a nightmare, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it was a really short game, but it was very cute, and it also had a lot of nice noises. So I was busy with that a little bit. Played a game that At first, when I read the description for it, I was like, yeah, this is probably an okay game to play, because it's a game. It's like a game called library. It's like a library cleanup type of game where you have books. There are books like scattered everywhere in a library, and your goal is to like clean it all up and stuff. And reading the description, I thought maybe it was like okay to play, because even though it said that it uses AI, it said it uses AI as a tool, as a means to like, I think it was like for grammar checking and also certain things. They basically say that AI wasn't, it was just meant to be used as a tool, and everything was like, you know, made by humans or whatever. And I was like, that might be okay. But people on the internet, being the people on the internet, were upset at the fact that AI was used at all. And it's also people who were planning on streaming it or playing it saying that they were not going to play it and boycott the game and stuff. And I'm like, huh, I wonder if maybe, am I being too lenient about the AI usage? Have I resigned myself? Have I gotten to that point? Or is maybe still some AI use still okay, and I'm just making myself feel like it's an excuse to play it just because it's a cleaning game? I don't know. But I spent a lot of time playing that one. It's the library game where you're like you're locked in a library and you have to clean up like over 3,000 books. You have to put them back on shelves and stuff. It's probably the same one. But this is one of those instances where it's like, you know, with AI, you want to like, you don't want to give money to people who are using AI to generate their assets in games and all that stuff, because AI is no-no. But then when it's being used as like a tool, like, do you give it a pass? Because some AI people inadvertently use AI for some things as tools to help them with stuff that they themselves have made. But you know, again, it's like getting to that conversation with AI again, and my opinions don't really fucking matter, so who cares? In any case, I spent like I think I spent like over like 30 hours on the game just trying to get all the achievements, because yeah, it should be that game. There's only one library game that people are playing at this point, I think. Some things probably shouldn't be called AI. Autocorrect, text prediction didn't used to be called AI. Yeah, it's because like there's still, I think debatably there is a difference between like generative AI, which is built from like nothing, or like built from using other people's work, versus like, well, sorry, it's like there's a difference between like generative AI, which is like without consent taking other people's works and then using it in a way to mash together to create like a quote-unquote machine-made like works, versus like AI assisted tools like search engines and predictive text and all that stuff. But I don't know, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It was a sort of game that kind of like scratched my itch, because when I first played it, my intention was to play it just, you know, as straightforward as possible, just by organizing all the books and putting them on the correct shelves and stuff. But apparently at some point in that game, you're able to get upgrades to make it easier for you to sort the books. But I went through the first run in that game without using any of that. Hang on, I got what is this? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Viewers will experience buffering. Well, I absolutely hate it. I hate games that put achievements that rely on how fast you beat a game. Because I shouldn't be fucking forcing myself to play a game that's supposed to be a stress-free game in like within a time limit. The first time I beat the game, it took me I think like 19 hours to do without using any of the upgrades and stuff, and just doing my own thing. But one of the achievements, it says to beat the game and put all the books back properly in under 3 hours. And I was like, that's a big jump. I wasn't going particularly fast, because I wasn't using upgrades, and I was like just kind of chilling doing it. But at the same time, I'm like 3 hours. Like the first couple of attempts at it, I would strain my hand so much because of the keys that you have to use for some of the upgrades, and I'm like, ugh, my fingers. And then failing. I think I was what was it? I was like maybe like 89% done, but I only had like 3 minutes left before the time limit. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to sort these books in time. So after spending like 2 and 57 minutes, I was like, I have to fucking call it. I have to call it and start a new run. I was like, this is so bullshit. Anyway, that's my problem. Those are my issues. That's what I get for trying to 100% games when no one asks for it. Anyway, so that's behind me now. That's been done. I got the achievements. I did all the achievements for that, so I'm never playing that game again. And then yesterday, and the day before yesterday, I was playing a game called Walk the Frog, which is just a cute little puzzle type game that's similar to a game called Paper Trails. I think that's what it's called. So like a little puzzle game where you were walking around as a girl and you would fold up your environment so that she had like paths and stuff to walk. Walk the Frog was similar to that. It's a cute little style. You play as a little frog, trying to make your way back home, so that in preparation for like a festival that's happening, as you're walking around, or as you're like putting the environments together with pieces of paper, building out like paths for the frog, you run into some other characters who help you along the way, and then you find out that your home dried out from like water. It used to be like a pond, but then you lost all the water for some reason, and you get really sad. And I thought it was gonna take an existential instinct, farewell my beloved other whatever game. That was like the retro style detective game. Shaving and streaming, the game looked nice. Yeah, it was a cute game. It would probably have been okay as a stream game, but it was also like, it was very simple, and also wasn't very long. Well, actually, it wasn't very long, but it would have taken me multiple stream sessions to have finished it on stream. I guess I could have done a first look, but at the same time, because I had no interest in streaming, I just played the game on my own. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. I mean, there's some games that I've been buying that I've been holding off on playing on my own, that I'm saving intent, like specifically for stream, like the detective game that I mentioned, and also because somebody was going goo goo gaga over it. I saw that it was on sale enough that I bought Return of Obra Dinn or whatever it's called, but I'm not playing that for a while. That's not a priority. You know what's also not a priority? The Switch 2 that I have sitting in my room, still bagged out with like a bundle or something, where you can get the Switch 2, and then like you have the option of one of 3 games. They give you a code and you can download one of the 3 games on it. With it was like between impulsively I bought it, and then I have it. I bought it, and then I got it, and then it's home. But I don't feel like, oops. I don't feel like opening because I'm not ready to play it. I have other things that I need to play. But Chris and Ash were very excited that I have it because they really want me to play Pocopia for some reason. Is there any deeper context to the What If comic panel you did on Blue Sky? No. Not really. Just I just drew something. It had been a while since I drew something, so I just drew something while thinking about something, and I was like, if only. As for the what is if only, nah, that's for me to think about. That's for me to think about. I'm getting so hot. Man, fuck this stupid ass summer. And And again, I know people have it worse out there, but I'm just like over. You know what? I actually meant to look up. I was on Reddit and I saw. Hello? Hello? What happened to my YouTube stream? Am I still alive? Okay. YouTube's acting up for me. Oh well. I was reading a newspaper article, or it was like a little like a article thing on that I saw on Reddit. That was talking about how, what was it, Mumbai or somewhere? They're like dealing like places in Southeast Asia or Southern Asia and all that stuff. They're dealing with like immense like record-breaking like heat waves and stuff, because of course they are, because the world is fucking dying, because people don't care about the earth, whatever. And they're talking about how like people who don't have the like things like ACs and things to cool them down are like struggling to deal with the extreme heat throughout the day and all that stuff. And I was just thinking, nah, not meh. That came out wrong. I meant to say like that's rough kind of thing. Like this is the sort of life that people are like have no choice but to live with, while others out there are kind of like living their life to the fullest. And there's no point of comparing, because they're all different people. We all live under different circumstances, but it's still a bum of a time. Anyway, I really wish. What do I wish? I mean, there's a lot of things I want to wish. I guess I was gonna say something and then I decided to change my mind. So I'm just trying to force myself to draw in a way. I was kind of thinking about the Clamp art style, the group that's behind Cardcaptor Sakura and my favorite Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. I was thinking about their art style and how like unique it was, the way they drew stuff. I guess in a way I was trying to mimic it with the drawing that I put on Blue Sky, but it didn't come out like them quite. But I was also trying to contemplate if that was like a feasible way to draw things like faster, if that was something that's maintainable enough for me to like get things done if I were to say, I don't know, make a comic again. But I say that every time, and then like before you know it, we're halfway through the year, and all I do is sit around and sweat. So things are not looking well in terms of that goal that I had. I don't know. Is your brother still working on Naruto or had enough? I assume he's still reading it. He doesn't update me that frequently. I think it's usually when he's like settling down from work, and where it's like when he's in bed or something like that. They'll just randomly text me being like, yo, Naruto's first kiss is with Sasuke. And it's like, oh man, fuck Sasuke, what a dickhead. And dude, and the part where he was like, Naruto is more important than the NBA, which like I guess it's a big deal what's going on with the NBA right now, the finals that's happening with the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs or whatever. I had to do something with that, not with them, but with the basketball stuff in relation to my work, like earlier this week, or was it last week? I can't remember. I think it was earlier this week. And then last night, my mom was like, "Oh, is there a way for us to watch the game on TV? My friend says that she can watch it without having to pay for anything and blah blah blah." And I'm like, I don't freaking know. I don't watch TV. How am I supposed to know where you can watch things? So I'm like trying to figure out like a way to watch for free. I'm like looking through like whatever streaming service, just like I don't fucking know where to go. And then like on, was it YouTube? I think YouTube had like some live stream thing showing that, oh, it's like the Knicks versus Spurs, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is it. And then all you see is Donald Trump talking about Bitcoin, and I'm like, well, this can't be it. This doesn't seem right. I don't think this is basketball related at all. I think someone's faking it, making their stream look like it's a basketball game, but it's actually just a fucking AI generated video of Donald Trump selling some sort of Bitcoin thing. So then I was like, well, I tried vaguely looking it up, and I saw like an ad on YouTube being like, oh, ESPN, you can watch the game on ESPN. I'm like, you definitely have to pay for that. I'm like looking to see how much it costs for ESPN if I went to get it for like a month, and it's attached to like Disney Plus, and it costs like $35 a month, and I'm like, and my mom was like, we don't have to pay, it's okay. She's like, is there no way to like watch it? And she's like she's occasionally calling her friend or talking to a friend on her phone, being like, no, we can't watch it. And they're talking about how they were able to watch for a bit, but then they couldn't watch it either. And they're like, no, you can definitely watch it on one of the channels, the local channels, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know, we can't do that here. I don't know. So I just said, fuck it, mom. You want to watch this? You want to watch these people play ball so badly? I just signed up for Disney Plus and get ESPN, and I let her watch the game, and she was like, "Oh my god, thank you." I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, you kids in your b-ball, you kids in your sports. Obviously, I'm part of the minority, considering that our mayor. I'm so hot. The mayor of our town was making silly little things about how like, oh, I'm signing. What was it? I'm signing a bill into action that kids will not have a bedtime. What is this pen that I'm using? Wait. Oh, I've been using the wrong pen the entire time. Okay, whatever. I don't care. This is just a sketch. He put together like a bill being like, kids will not have bedtimes if they want to catch the finals. If they want to watch the Knicks versus the Spurs. And he's making little silly jokes and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. And then there are a lot of people celebrating and stuff like that. Even my sister. I think my sister... Oh, I don't know if she was there. At the time, my mom was trying to ask my sister for help about where to watch the game, because my sister usually catches the games. But she just left a message saying that she couldn't take her call because she was at a basketball game. So assuming that there wasn't multiple games happening at that time, I'd imagine that she might have been at the game itself. So I don't know. Either way, people like their NBAs. Meanwhile, I'm just like, ball is ball. For some people, ball is life. But for other people, ball is ball. But anyway, my brother... I was like asking my brother about it too, because he also... I'm pretty sure he also likes basketball. I don't know if he cared. I don't know if he watched the game yesterday. Sounded like he was more focused on reading Naruto than he was watching the game. But then he messaged me being like... talking about how like there's a certain character in the story was given like such importance only for them to die off really quickly, even though they didn't show up for most of the story at all until this one section. And I was like, yep. And then this morning he was complaining about how Naruto wouldn't shut the fuck up about Sasuke, and I was like, yep. I'm like, it's only gonna get worse. So I don't know how much of a turnoff it is for him when he says that. We'll see if he's gonna be able to hold on. Because honestly, after the Pain arc, the story sort of, I wouldn't say takes a dip, but it kind of, people would probably lose interest at that point during the war stuff, because like, you know, especially with the way Naruto handled the ending of that war arc with Pain and stuff, which I'm saying all this as if anyone, I don't know if people here read Naruto or care to the extent that I do, so all that to say is if he continues reading it, great. If not, then whatever. It's no skin off my nose. I don't really care. Speaking of manga though, I wasn't in the mood to be at my work computer all day, so occasionally I took some breaks to lay in bed a bit and read Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a really nice manga, considering in comparison to like a lot of like the big Shonen Jump names. Just because it's like it's straight and to the point. There's no like fluff to it. There's no filler. So it's very much focused on like the characters and then the story. And it ends off with them like, you know, rounding off the story without any intentions of like a sequel or anything. And it's not one of the type of stories where like they're afraid to kill people off. Because prominent characters die, which you know, good on the author to not be afraid of that, but at the same time they killed off one of my favorite characters, and I was just like, that's not nice. That's not nice. Because when they fucking died, even though I've read the comic like 4 fucking times at this point, I still get a little teary-eyed over it, and I'm just like, whatever. Whatever, I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care. I knew they were gonna die. I knew they were gonna die. I'm gonna tear about it, but like whatever, I'm over it. I'll move on. That's good. I like it. I've heard some people say that it's like a bit like overrated, or it was like boring for a story, but I thought it was pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It's an easy comic to get to. I also on a whim decided to look at my bookshelf, and I saw that I had realized that I hadn't read like my Chobits manga books in a while, which Chobits is for those unfamiliar, is like an old comic by Clamp, the same people who did Cardcaptor Sakura. I'm pretty sure they were pretty big. They were pretty big in back in the heydays of like anime and manga when it was big. But I was reading I only have the first 2 volumes, and I was like, oh, I forget how this comic ends. I should go like read it somewhere. But I didn't want to do the thing where I did with Tsubasa Chronicles, where I went and like impulsively bought all the volumes on Kindle. Because heaven forbid Amazon tried to take away all the things that I bought on Kindle, but at the same time I don't want to give them money, but also at the same time I wasn't like, I like Chobits, I just don't know if I like it enough that I want to own all the volumes for it right now. But then I remembered that I live somewhat nearish a library, and the last time I went to a library, it's been a while since, they like, if you they had like a manga section. So I was gonna go to the library to see if I can maybe like reserve some books, assuming that they still do that. I'm deleting this. I don't like it anymore. I'm like so fucking hot. I was totally fine until I decided to start talking, and then I started getting hot. So honestly, this is why I don't like streaming. What pen was I using before? Not that. Was it this? Maybe it was something like this. Okay. Demon Slayer is also one of those series that like, one of the big series that end up getting a lot of like movies, like well animated movies. I don't remember if there was an anime, like a regular anime series for it. I think there must have been for like the first part of the story. I don't think they would jump straight into a movie from the beginning. So you have that to watch if you end up watching it, like I know a lot of people tend to do. I'm sweaty. Oh, it's so warm. I even have a fan on me, it's not working. Good stuff though. What else is there to talk about? I saw somebody the other day wearing some like heel shoes, and I thought they were like the ugliest things ever, and I had never seen anything like it. And then I tried drawing it from memory when I got back home from wherever it was I came from. I don't remember where I went. I must have gone out. Was it from work? I don't remember. I tried to draw from memory and I was like, this doesn't fucking look right. Am I sure this is how it looks? And then I tried to look it up online, just using some like vague descriptions of what the shoe kind of looked like. I was like, kind of like half open, squarish toe, heel, or boot or something like that. I couldn't remember. And there really wasn't that much listings for that type of shoe. It was only like 1 or 2 I saw on Amazon. And it's kind of like, so here's a foot, right? Or here's a foot. Here's the toes. Don't ignore that if I misdrew the toes. That's not important. But the way the shoe worked was that it covered like here, and then it would like go like this. The ones I saw online, I don't know if this is the exact one that she was wearing, but it was something like this. It's hard to draw because it doesn't look right. Hang on. It's like something like this. It was a heel. I think it was a heel. But the concept was that it only covered like 2 toes, like your big toe and the toe next to it, and then it wrapped around and left your other toes exposed. And I remember looking at it and I was like, what the fuck are those ugly things? I was like, fashion has gone too far. It's so weird. But I tried so hard to look it up, being like, is this maybe like a trend, like a fashion trend thing that people are into? Like, I'd never seen this before. It looked so fucking ugly. But I only saw a listing or 2 of it on Amazon. I was like, how obscure is this type of shoe? Unless I just don't know the name of the style, and at the same time, like, why did this person think that it was a good shoe to like wear? I mean, people can wear whatever they want, right? But at the same time, I was just like, I swear it was something like this though. I couldn't remember if it was just covering these toes or if maybe it was covering the other side instead. Either way, there were toes that were exposed in like vertically as opposed to like horizontally, where like sometimes you'll have like this where it covers like maybe your pinky sometimes, but like either way, I didn't love it, and I hope that I never see anyone wearing that type of shoe ever again. Anyway, Bombite has been a mod for 6 months. Wow, amazing. All the hard work that you do to keep my chat safe, and you're always here active all the time, every day of the week that I stream and I don't stream. What a mod. I didn't even know that you can share how long you've been a mod. I guess if you want like mod appreciation. Oh yeah, originally, so one of the things that I never have like the foresight to think about is that whenever I make thumbnails for the YouTube streams, because YouTube, you need to have a well, you don't need to, but like you have to like have some sort of thumbnail to set up to schedule streams and stuff. So I decided on a whim to like try to draw my boy over in Hollow Stars, the one that's fucking leaving, the one that's ending his streaming activities this week. I was trying to draw fan art of him, and originally my plan was to draw him for the stream and talk about him, but then time went by and I kind of just like I stopped caring to do it, because whenever I have the impulse to do something, if I'm not doing it at that exact moment, then I just lose interest and it fizzles out. But I was thinking about how he and a few other members are going to be graduating, including the first ever member of Hololive. I mean, Hololive, that'd be crazy. But and how since they announced that they were downsizing, like everything has just kind of like just been sad for fans and members alike. But one of the things that happened was I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was the 7th anniversary for Hollow Stars. And I guess because of the whole downsizing announcement that they made in April or whatever, or whatever month it was, I forgot. May? Maybe it was May, not April. They apparently don't have anyone managing their social media accounts, like the company's social media accounts for Holostars on the Japanese side. So when the 7th anniversary came and went, people were wondering why the social media account wasn't like congratulating them on the 7th year of Holostar, including the members who are still a part of Holostar. They were making tweets that apparently, I think that some of them went viral or whatever in our spheres, being like, hey, it's been 7 years, it's our 7th year anniversary, like, cover, are you gonna make an announcement about that or anything? Like, no congratulations, nothing? And people were like confused as to why they're not saying even that much. It's like the bare minimum that you can do. But one of the other members on a stream had mentioned that apparently no one runs that account anymore, so it's been abandoned. It's like, wow, this multi-million-dollar company and their efforts to downsize have like kicked out like all the entire team that runs this branch that still has members in it. So it's like, it's a rough look. Again, I'm saying this as like someone who, while I consider myself to be a fan of it, I'm not like, oh shit, sorry, I'm not like the most active fan. So I was like, I shared the frustration, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like run around with pitchforks being like, how dare they? Maybe I should, but I don't know. I've sort of outgrown the VTuber space type of thing. I just occasionally only watch like some clips here and there of VTuber stuff, and mainly just like of Korone and Korone, I guess. That's all. But I really don't tune into VTubers all that much anymore. I've outgrown them. I've outgrown them and decided I've resulted to just watching content of people playing video games and bantering. Even if they are fucking stupid as hell, some of them. Some of the people that I watch that play games have also like a podcast where it's just like a comedy podcast where they just sit around and talk and shit, like talk about whatever they want. Usually about like games that they've played recently or Pokemon, because they collect some of them collect Pokemon cards, or they watch movies and all that stuff. Whatever, they have their own like quirks. And yesterday they were playing a little bit of Wikipedia speedrun. Is that what you call it? I think it's that thing where you on Wikipedia you have like one topic, and then that goal is to get to a different topic that's been prompted for you by just clicking the links on Wikipedia articles, which is a fun concept. But one of the gripes about that is that this was a podcast episode, and they were doing something very visually based where they're just reading they're like scanning their eyes looking for like, you know, links to click on to get to their goal. But it's like, you know, doing this for a podcast where you also advertise yourselves on like audio platforms, it's like, are you expecting people who are like listening to you guys only to be able to follow what the hell you're doing when you're just staring at a screen being like, Latin America, something about Spain, which one of the things that drives me insane is that these guys, you know, they're talented in playing games and they know their stuff and they're funny, the people I watch, but they're also, for some things, they're fucking dumb as bricks. Because they were like, okay, Latin America, where is Spain? They're like looking so hard for Spain. In my head, I'm like, didn't they say Latin America? I'm like, is Latin America not America? So they made me Google. I was like, where's Latin America? And I was like, it shows it's like Central and Southern America. I'm like, yeah, okay, Spain is not in Latin America, but they were so they were so insistent that Spain was in Latin America, and they were like, I was like, you guys are so stupid. Well, it was that, and also like a bunch of other stuff that they were saying throughout the episodes, and just things that they've said overall, where they clearly show that they're not the most like studious, I guess. Which, you know, you don't have to be the smartest person to be successful, but at the same time, hearing someone be like, "Yo, what's that really round, small tomato called? A candy tomato?" It's like, damn it. These motherfuckers don't even know what a cherry tomato is. I was thinking of doing something with that. What, Wikipedia speedrun? I feel like, didn't we try that at one point? I think it was pretty fun because I was doing it while I was like kind of slacking off at work because I was like getting like, I was overwhelmed with something and I was like, I need to take a break. So I was doing some Wikipedia speedruns on my own. It's pretty fun. I don't know if I would be able to, I guess maybe if you do it as a race, it'd be fun, but I feel like doing it as a group effort is hard? Not hard. I feel like it just wouldn't be the most efficient, just because like you're scanning your eyes for links at a certain pace than other people are, and you guys are reading things like on a different side, like a different like part of like the article. So you might be trying to still search for something, and then someone's gonna scroll away to try to keep going further down to look for more look for more options and stuff like that. I think that sort of thing would drive me insane, or that would sort of be like, they would stifle the progress that you're trying to make, or the pace that you're going at. Because I'm not there for the fun. I'm there to win. I say that as if I didn't get stuck yesterday. What was the thing I got stuck at? Okay, this one was annoying because what was it? What did I start off? I forgot what I started off with, but I had to look. The end goal was to do retraction in academia publishing or something like that. I forgot what the starting one was. I forgot what I started with. But in my head, retraction of academic publishing. In my head, I was like, the only time I've ever heard anything about being retracted in publishing was from H Bomber Guy's video about Andrew Wakefield and the rubella, the mRNA vaccine or something. And I was like, he's mentioned that the Lancelot something had retracted Andrew Wakefield's study because it was full of lies and all that stuff. Because I watched that video enough that I was like, yes, I've heard those words. I know a little bit. Like, I don't know too much about academic publishing. I know it's a thing, and I'm sure retractions are a thing. But like the very specific example I could think of was that. So I was like just trying to vaguely look for like academia. I was looking for like publishing, studies, dissertation, thesis, and all that stuff. And I'm like, probably that stuff can be attracted too if it's proven to be false and all that stuff. And I'm like trying so hard to get to it. I think I spent like I think 10 minutes trying to get to it. And at one point I get to Andrew Wakefield, I get to his publishing, I get to Lancelot, I get to all these words, and I'm like, surely there's gonna be a mention of the fact that it was retracted, right? And I see the word retracted, but it was not retraction in academic publishing. I was like, where is this specific link? How is this not like, how is this retraction part not like, does not link to like more examples of like publishes that have been like retracted? I don't know if it's because like it's different between academic publishing is different from like medical publishing and all that stuff. I guess it must be, but I was like, I spent so long on it, and this is the only example I could think of with with the retractions, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I've been on this goose chase and I can't fucking find it, so I gave up. But the funny thing, the thing is, when you give up, I thought maybe it would try to tell you like what's a way to get to it, but it doesn't tell you. It just gives up, and you just start in the beginning. And I'm like, okay, fine, fucking damn it, I'll never know how to get to retraction in academia publishing from whatever I started with at the time. But I did pretty good in like other ones. There was one that was I remember beating one in 14 seconds. What it was, I don't remember. It's been too long. It's been over 24 hours since I did it, so I can't remember it now. But I had some good streaks at the time. It's fun. I saw that the game Thank Goodness You're Here was on sale for cheap, so I bought that too. Is that a game that's like stream worthy, or should I just play that on my own? I don't really know anything about the game aside from it like that takes place in the UK, I think, the setting. I actually don't really know what the setting is. I remember it was a big deal at the time when it came out. People like loved it. But I don't know if it's like a good streaming game. I also know that Dag played it on the Visnomatic channel, but I didn't watch it because I didn't want to be spoiled by it. Had any new interesting candies of late? Not really, I don't think. Or anything in relation to that I just remembered. The other day when I went to work, I stopped by a place to get a bagel, a breakfast bagel, and while waiting for it, this older lady comes into the shop and she's like super giddy about something. She's like super giddy about it. She sees like one of the people behind the register and they're like giddy with each other, and she grabs like a pack of like cookies from like the side, and it's like a pack of Oreos. Apparently it's a BTS collab Oreo or whatever. And she was like super excited to have them. Like she went and bought 2 packs of them. I was like thinking like, this old lady is very excited about these BTS Oreo cookies. And I was curious because I was wondering what the flavors were, because I saw that they were like purple. When she paid and left, I went over to where the cookies were to take a look at them, and I thought maybe because it was purple in Korean, I thought maybe it'd be like a taro or like a ube flavored thing. Ube is not Korea. It's not from Korea. That's Filipino, but they also have ube flavored things. So I was like, is it ube or like sweet potato or whatever? But it turns out it's like brown sugar pancake, I think it was, or something. And I'm like, that's not what I expected for purple Oreos. I contemplated getting them because I was like, I wonder what they taste like. Because I remember when Post Malone came out with his flavored Oreos stuff a while back. People apparently said it was like really tasty. But by the time I was even remotely interested, they were already all gone. So I was like, oh well. I don't know. I haven't seen people talk about it though, so I have no idea. I assume they probably are fine, and BTS fans will eat up anything that BTS does. I think people still like BTS a lot. I don't know. If I see them again next week when I go into the office, because I usually go back to that. I usually go to that same breakfast place to get a sandwich because I really like their bagels there. Maybe I'll pick it up and try myself. But I'm kind of Oreos kind of scare me because they're usually too sweet. Local Domino brand to Oreos. See, that doesn't mean anything to me in my American mind because I assume Domino brand must be a brand of cookies, but here in America, Domino's is pizza. So it sounds like you're saying that Domino's, the pizza chain, has their own brand of Oreos, which they might, but I get the feeling that that's not what you're saying. I was gonna try to do something with this, and I hate this picture, so I'm not gonna save it anymore. What was I thinking about just now? Oh. Yesterday, I saw on Twitter, because it showed up on my feed, that apparently yesterday was Yugi Moto's birthday or something like that. So let me see if I remember how to draw him. God, I wish, like, his hair is very iconic, but God, realistically, his hair makes no fucking sense. These bangs make no fucking sense. Why couldn't you have normal hair, Yugi? Why did you and your entire family line have to have such weird bangs? Why can't you have normal hair like your mom did? Your mom that only showed up in the manga, I think, and maybe not in the anime from my recollection, but oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! I saw that I guess the Yu-Gi-Oh cards is not as big as a thing for people to buy and scalp than Pokemon cards are, because I saw when I went to, where did I go? I went shopping somewhere with my mom, like over the weekend, and we stopped by a shop that sells like comics and mangas and like anime, like nerd stuff, whatever. And they had like, there was a wall that had the Pokemon, that had like not a wall, Pokemon cards. They had a little glass case of like locked up Pokemon cards packs, and then they had like Yu-Gi-Oh card packs like out for people to buy, and I was like, oh, guess there's no concern about people stealing the Yu-Gi-Oh cards here. But that actually reminded me, when I went to go get my Switch 2, because I placed an order online for pickup, and at the pickup area while I was waiting for them to get my Switch 2, I saw that someone had put on hold, or I don't know if it was put on hold, maybe they just kept it in the back for people so that people can't like grab them off the shelf, but apparently there's Naruto trading cards. Because from a distance, even though I couldn't read the pack, I saw the very iconic orange and blue, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute, I recognize those colors. That's Naruto and Sasuke. I was like, they got Naruto trading cards now? I didn't ask about it though. The person that was helping me walked off somewhere before I could ask about it. But I looked online and I saw it was there. And I was like, oh my god, Naruto's tapping into the business now. Though I wonder if it's gonna be as like prevalent as like Pokemon, or even like the One Piece trading card things, but who knows. Surely at some point people will get tired of the card phase, right? People will surely stop going cuckoo for Pokemon cards, right? Surely. Maybe. I don't know. You chicken, you should have asked. Anyway, I don't imagine I'd be curious to buy like a pack to see what kind of cards they have. I don't know if it's gonna rivalry or whatever. I don't think it was anything like new, but I don't know. Unless they're like hand drawn, like how Pokemon's is, with like really pretty art. I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like I'm not gonna care to collect them. Much as I love the Narutos. The thing I don't love is accruing more waste in my house. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm a little worried now. I thought I was being smart by prepping the rice I was going to cook. By putting the washed rice with water in the rice cooker, not turning it on yet. Or not having plugged in yet. And then when it was time for me to cook, that I would turn it on then. Because one of the things that it says the instructions is to let it sit for like 15 minutes. Like not cooked yet. For whatever reason, to make the rice better. But I've left it sitting there for like I think over an hour at this point. And when I went to go check on it, I think the rice absorbed the water. I'm cooking it now, but I'm worried that I'm worried that letting it sit for as long as I did might have fucked up the rice. So I guess I'll find out when it's done cooking. As long as it doesn't catch on fire, I'm sure. I hope it's okay. I hope it doesn't burn or anything. Yu-Gi-Oh is a boy who is a king of the cards. He loves his friends, he loves his family. He also loves being the very best at playing cards. Yeah. In the beginning of next month, I'm not going to be here for a couple of weeks. I mean, it probably won't make a difference in terms of a streaming schedule. It's not like I stream every day, so the amount of time I'm gone is basically the same time when I'm gone. Regular, I guess. At least when I come back, I'll have something to talk about, maybe, hopefully. I'm not looking forward to the heat. I'm not looking forward to being in that fucking gross ass heat. I'm also not looking forward. Well, I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like, but I'm also not looking forward to the event or one of the activities that a friend wants to partake in, which involves climbing up like 80+ inclined stairs to a temple, all in one go. Because the idea is that if you climb all the steps without ever stopping, then you're guaranteed success in life or something like that. But based on my experience with climbing up stairs to go to a temple in Thailand a few years back, I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it. But I sure will try. And if I end up failing, then I guess I just won't be successful in life. hope it has railing. The railing isn't the issue. I'm not afraid of falling over. My issue is more so that climbing upstairs is very difficult for a person who is unfit, who is anemic, and also has flat feet. But I have all the things going against me when it comes to stairs. Admittedly, I have been building up my stamina a little bit when it comes to like the little bit of exercising I've been doing, the little jogging and stuff. I can jog for a little bit without having to stop, but that's not the same thing as like fucking climbing upstairs. I think the trick to it for me is that if I do it, I have to go really slow. Like I won't stop, but I am probably gonna go at the same pace as that one sloth from Zootopia, aka sloths in general. Just very slow. So that I'm essentially taking a break with every step I take. But we'll see how it goes. I remember when we were talking to my friends about it, I was like saying, we were like just talking about the fact that like, you know, I'm at a disadvantage because of my anemia and all that stuff. And we were just making jokes or whatever, saying like, oh, is the Japanese god gonna be like, you know, is gonna be understanding that like you're dealing with someone who's like has a medical condition that they can't climb up all these stairs in order to get all that luck and shit. Making jokes like, sumimasen, kami-sama, watashi wa anemic desu. Anemic kudasai, and all that stuff. Just saying like, God please, I'm anemic desu. Old rock stair place thing, it'll be fine. But, you know, a bunch of stairs in order to be successful in life, then I feel like everybody in the world would have gone to do it, and they would all be Jinja or something. Jinja is just shrine, I think, in Japanese. No idea the name. This Yugi boy don't look right. Doesn't look right unless you give him his full on like anime fucking eyes. Then doing it like this doesn't look right either. Yugi, why did you have to be such a unique looking guy? Big eyes. Ugh. Wow. Wow, guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Whoop. Wow. Alright. Clearly... Clearly I run out of steam. That's what happens when you don't stream you only stream once every 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to stream again this weekend and get back to paranormal site, which originally I said I was in the process of editing that down to upload on YouTube, but I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. That shit was so boring to edit because it's just a lot of reading and then the occasional ah. So I gave up on it. Also, my computer seems to not be able to handle editing anymore. DaVinci just like it like lags my computer like crazy in a weird way that I've never experienced before. So no editing for me. Fuck it. People can watch the VODs for it if they care about it, but I want to make more of a dent in that game so I can move on with my life. God, what a boring stream this was. That's what happens. It's not like I have crazy things happening in life, so there's not much to yap about. I haven't been doing anything. Maybe like now that I've signed myself up for Disney Plus for my mom's sake, so she can have her sports channel or whatever. Maybe I could watch something on Disney Plus for a little bit. Maybe watch something. What's new? I was gonna say I could finally watch K-pop Demon Hunter, but that's not on Disney. That's on Netflix. Where's my phone? There it is. Let me see what's on. Watch the old animated Robin Hood? No, thank you. I watched that not that long ago, and by that I mean like a few years ago. Did you like the K-pop? I did not watch it. I just said that I would watch it if it was on Disney Plus, but it's not on Disney Plus. It's on Netflix, and I don't have Netflix. Hence, I have not watched it. Hoppers, not suitable for work. Oh, I also have Hulu, I guess. What the fuck is on Hulu? I don't care about Hulu. What's how do I separate? How do I use this app? I don't know how to use technology. Wow, I can watch The Simpsons. I can watch Mufasa. Wow, I can watch Taylor Swift. I can watch the Mufasa sing-along. Ooh, Lion King 1.5. Classic. Underrated classic. Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. When you're done. Oh wait, are there documentaries on here? Maybe I'll watch a documentary. I like watching documentaries. How do I use this app? No, don't show me the Beatles. No. Oh, here's the. I see it. Disney Plus is up here. What are some things? That's not Disney. Perfect Crown, that's Hulu. What did I click on? Disney. Ariel, Sophia, The First, Play Break, The Weekenders, Bluey, Lilo and Stitch. I saw Bluey Yowie the other day, and it made me like, ew, what is this? Playdate with Winnie the Pooh? Yo! Pooh looks fucked up on this. What? Whatever this is, it's like a little animated show of Winnie the Pooh and the characters, but they're like chibi-fied? Kind of scary looking. Moana! Love Moana. I think at some point I said Moana was like my favorite Disney movie. I don't know if that's still the case. But I also, my favorite shows and all, my favorite movies and things mean nothing, given that I fucking don't watch anything. Oh my god, there's Chibi Tiny Tales with Phineas and Ferb. Oh my god, Chibi, Phineas and Ferb? That's so weird. Zootopia 2, that's also a movie. And now I'm just going through a list of Disney movies. I'm trying to think of what's something that was like big. Did anything big come out in Disney that I was like, I should watch it? Is that fucking Arthur but chibi? Yo, they're chibifying everything here. Arthur is also not Disney. That can't be Arthur. Never mind. That's probably not Arthur then. Twisted Wonderland? That's on Disney Plus? This anime Disney stuff? Wow. I don't think I care enough to watch it though. I haven't watched an anime in so long. High School Musical. Shorts. Percy Jackson. Moonlight Reunion. That looks like an Asian drama. They got Asian dramas on Disney now? Man, the state of like streaming services and all the things that they put on here are things that I just don't relate to. Hocus Pocus? Never watched, but I heard people always talking about Hocus Pocus. Ed Sheeran? Wow, my favorite Disney princess. Who are all these people? Chuiko? American-born Chinese? That's me! Emperor's New Groove? I've watched- that's one of the movies that we watched a lot as a kid. That's a good movie. I wonder if they have Atlantis on here. Atlantis, the Lost Empire or whatever. That was a movie that I never watched. Along with the whatever that other Disney movie was that people— oh my god, Goof Troop! Oh wait, is that the movie? No. No, that's a show. Never mind. They probably have the movie in here somewhere though. Do you need a break from modern living? I just watching Encanto again. Even though I think Encanto was the last Disney movie I watched. Do you need a body open roll? Come on, Maxie! All in all, I'd rather have the tension. All in all, I'd rather eat a toad. Insert more words. I think about that song occasionally. I think I always, for some reason, randomly always just pops up the part where the other people start singing, "Howdy boys, is this the way to Nashville? Watch it, Mac, or you'll be irritated." And then that one guy who's like in a prison car, or a prison truck or something, it's like cuffed up, and Goofy is like so stressed out that his son's gonna get like go to jail because he dared to play a prank on the principal at school. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm like glossing over all these things that are on Disney, and I literally don't care to watch anything on here. I have no interest in watching anything. There's so much thing. They even have BTS here. They have BTS stuff here. T-Rex? Who's that? Oh, it's J-Hope. Never mind. I don't know where I got T-Rex from. I didn't even know. There's a Lilo and Stitch too? Oh, is that the one where they introduced the cousins? That must be. Anyway. Okay, anyway, what are you? Okay, sorry. I'm getting out of here. I need to go see to make sure that my rice cooks okay and prep dinner. I will try to stream this weekend. I'm going to, even if family expects me for something, I'm just gonna be like, no, I want to stay home and rot in my house. So I'll try to do that. Is Theodore Rex a Disney thing? I don't know what that is. Roll back the clock. Roll back. What? How does that song go? Is that one dinosaur cartoon movie? Anyway, okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. To check out your local library for hits and classics and you know, bathe and stuff. Okay. Good. Cool. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.